2012 has had some pretty cool games, if you ask me. I know one person thinks so. I like to think he thinks so. Avery, that's who I'm talking about. So obviously, being an avid gamer, I don't really know what he's eagerly anticipating in 2013. Only he has the answer, which is why I'm going to throw it over to the maestro himself, Avery, for Gamer Station.
Hello, I'm Avery Score, and welcome to another exciting, edifying, and thought-provoking episode of the Gamer Station, where this week we're going to be talking about the most anticipated games of 2013, and I'm willing to wager that my most anticipated games are going to be your most anticipated games, because we're just that insane. The first title on my list is DMC, Devil May Cry, the fifth canonic installment in the Devil May Cry series. This is one of my favorite action series of all time. It's glorious button mashing. This particular title is set in a parallel universe where Dante, a younger, perhaps less experienced, but just as deadly Dante, has to combat Limbo City, this kind of weird, animated, demon-ridden Limbo City, and also contend with the fact that he's now apparently a Nephilim. Every game these days seems to have a different definition of what a Nephilim is. In Diablo, it's just a really powerful human that could potentially destroy gods, angels, or demons. In the case of Devil May Cry, Mythos, it's half demon, half angel. So Dante has to wrestle with this dual identity throughout the course of the game. Should be interesting, and from what I've seen in the early making of videos, the animation is absolutely top notch, and especially the voice acting, they've got some really good hard-hitting acting talent. So this is sure to be a game that's as well told as it is fun to play. It may set a new standard in that regard for the Devil May Cry series. Another big one, probably on everyone's list, is Gears of War Judgment. It's a new Gears of War game. It seems like largely an incremental update to the series, but you know, the new Unreal 3.5 engine is looking pretty sweet. The graphics are going to be excellent, and some familiar characters are coming back into the fray, such as my favorite, the Coal Train. Anyway, not much is known about the title so far, but we're all looking forward to playing it. It's Gears of War. That's probably all you need to know. The next one on the list is BioShock Infinite, which does seem like a considerable departure from the previous two entries into the franchise. Now, the previous two is centered around Andrew Ryan's madness and this underwater city called Rapture, which is increasingly decaying, and all these biomods, and it has this kind of flapper feel, and if you haven't played it, I probably am not going to be able to describe it here. This time, all that's chucked out the window, and instead, the developers of the game have decided to do this kind of weird commentary on federalism versus populism. In the game, there are warring factions. There's a group that's trying to keep the United States and its sort of female personification, Columbia, which is a floating city with hot air balloons and zeppelins and all sort of steampunk stylistic embellishments, pure, as it was intended by the Founders, which is the name of that faction, pretty much the Federalists, or the Vox Populi, which is the voice of the people, obviously this populist group of factions that wants to undo the Founders and reform Columbia in its own image. So this is very timely. It's kind of a commentary, according to Ken Levine's own admission, on the Occupy Wall Street movement and all of that. But at the same time, it's going to have all the gameplay that you loved in the BioShock series. And if the trailers are to be believed, amazing amounts of zip lines. Anyway, you're gonna have to save a girl called Elizabeth, then avoid these factions, try to figure out on which side your allegiances play out, and it's looking to be something that's gonna relaunch and breathe new life into a series that might have gotten tired if, once again, we were just going to be dealing with the Rapture and, you know, demented Atlas Shrugged fantasies. The last game that I want to talk about is The Last of Us. And this game is being pushed out by Naughty Dog, and when Naughty Dog is introducing a new franchise, we all better be taking notes. It seems that Naughty Dog has been taking notes whilst watching episodes of The Walking Dead. Now, if you're a fan of the comic book, of the television series, you know that The Walking Dead is about what happens to the human psyche, to humanity itself, when we're involved in a protracted post-apocalyptic zombie scenario where humanity has been reduced to a sliver of its former self, and there are walking, zombies or infected roaming the earth. That's exactly what's happening in The Last of Us. There have been sort of this weird mushroom that affected and killed off a great deal of humanity. There is still infected roaming about, which are incredibly dangerous, and you take on the role of Joel. Now, Joel made a promise to a dying friend to protect a girl called Ellie, and consequently, you've got to watch over her. She's kind of your faithful ward. From the looks of the E3 trailers and from the looks of what I've been reading about the game, it's going to be brutal, and you're going to be fighting off zombies with weapons that aren't necessarily conventional. Anything that you can find, a bed leg, a piece of furniture, a block of wood, a brick that you found on the ground. Exactly the sort of thing that you would expect from The Walking Dead. It also has a realistic kind of presentation to it where you feel like these characters have really been inhabiting a hellish world, and Ellie herself has never known anything else. If Naughty Dog's history of incredible storytelling is anything to sort of count on, I am absolutely looking forward to this game, and I think that it's going to set a new standard for survival horror on consoles and PC.
Oh, not good!
2012 was a banner year for gaming. It looks like 2013 is going to be right up there with it. I don't know if it's going to surpass it yet. Only time will tell. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking forward to playing those games I mentioned and more this coming year. I'm Avery Score, and keep gaming.
So, do you agree, disagree with Avery for his picks for 2013 in the video game department? Why don't you share your thoughts on Facebook or on Twitter? Agree, disagree? Throw in some extra games while you're at it. Love your feedback, as I'm sure Avery would. Now, next week on Gadget Nation, we got something special for the Android users who love music. You've got to stay tuned to find out exactly what I'm talking about. My name is Adam Carruthers. Until next time.